Hello, my dear learners. Welcome to the third session of our soft skills training program. I am your trainer Namita, and the topic for this session is how to develop creative thinking. Yes, today we are going to boost our creativity through this session. Now, many of you might have this question that why do we need to be creative? What is the need to develop this creative thinking? Let me tell you that creative people are more open-minded. They always welcome new ideas. They are ready to change. They keep changing their perspectives. They keep accepting new point of views. Creative people always think out of the box. So when they have to deal in any social situation or even at their workplaces, they always are better performers because their creativity makes them stand out of the crowd. So if you also want to be a more fulfilled individual, if you want to live your life to the fullest, then try to work on your creativity. It has numerous advantages. Like creativity improves problem solving, because when you are creative, it is boosting your analytical skills. So you are able to look at any problem from different perspectives and you can come up with the best solution. So the people who are creative are better problem solvers as compared to the people who are less creative. The wonderful benefit of being creative is it boosts confidence. Now look around, the people who are creative are always more confident. Giving yourself a creative outlet boosts your self-confidence in a completely different way. So the people who are creative, the people who have developed a creative thinking for themselves are always more confident. You'll see something shining on their faces. So this is one wonderful advantage of being creative. Now the best thing which creativity does, it gives you freedom of thought. Yes, you are free to think in different directions. Otherwise, notice that we are all caught up in this vicious circle of judgments and prejudices. What would people say about us? Oh, what would they think if I don't do it? The creative people are free from all the judgments and prejudices. They know that their creativity is somewhere giving them that outlet. They are giving them a way to their destination. So they are not even bothered about what everybody is going to say. So they are free. This is a different kind of freedom which you will experience if you start working on your creativity. Then creativity develops leadership skills. Yes, it does. All the leaders are mostly creative, and because they are creative, takes them to leadership positions. That is why if you have to lead, you have to think in a very creative way so that you can lead the entire team. You can be the person who everybody follows. So leadership skills and creativity are somewhere directly connected. The other thing which I believe, if we leave the workplace situation on a side, then creativity keeps you stress free. Somewhere your mind is always free. It reduces the stress level because you are having a creative outlet for yourself, and which improves the quality of your life. Yes, creativity improves the quality of your life. Creative people have a life which is more beautiful, which is more satisfying if you compare it to the people who don't want to change, who have a point of view, who have their own very rigid perspective which they never want to change. So creativity definitely improves the quality of your life. So even if you are not a working professional, even if you are just a home manager, then also you need to be more creative. When you're cooking something, if you are creative, every time you'll add some new flavors, you'll change your method of cooking, you'll organize your home in a different way, you'll do things differently. It's not just limited to your workplace. Your creativity will help you in every area. You'll deal with your relatives, your friends, other social gatherings in a very different way. Creativity is required in every single field. So this video is for everyone, no matter where you come from, what is your background. You need to be creative. If you want to live a superior quality of life, then you need to be creative. Let's dive into the detail of this video now. We are going to talk about how to be more creative. So the first thing that I would like to tell you all is about the approach towards life. Have a more active approach rather than a passive approach. Now, what is this active and passive approach? An active person generally make things happen according to him or her, but a lazy person would let things happen the way everything is happening. Are you getting the difference? Like when I say, when you're watching a movie, you are a passive viewer, you're just watching it. Something is being played, your eyes are just stuck to it, nothing happening over here in this part of your body. The mind is not active. But when you're reading, you are an active person, because your eyes, your mind has to be in coordination at the same time, so that you can figure out what is written and understand it at the same time. That is why, rather than being a passive person, rather than having a passive approach, try to have an active approach. With technology being so advanced and with so many facilities around, with everything being sedentary, we have become passive. Our approach towards life is very passive. Let things happen, let people treat us in whatever way they want. Whatever salary I'm getting is okay. The jobs are like that, discriminations are happening, people are narcissists, they are treating us in a certain way. When you are passive, you don't want to change your situations. An active person, a person who has an active approach, would let the things go with the flow of his or her life. He would work on everything and change everything that is happening to him. He would not just sit, cry, complain and crib about everything that is happening. The person would work towards it, because that's how life is supposed to be dealt with. You have to work on different areas to make things function. What happens is, if a relationship is not working, we would say that the partner is not right. The partner is always very cranky. It is because of him or her. It is their fault, not mine. But a person with an active approach would take charge, would take responsibility, and that person would think of different ideas. How can he work on that relationship? Same happens at your workplace. If it is very difficult to deal with your boss, or somewhere you're finding challenges in managing your team, then if you have a passive approach, you will let yourself go with whatever is happening at the workplace. The team members are not listening to you, the boss is just piling you up with work. You would not do anything about it because you're lazy. If you have an active approach, you will make everything work. You will figure out the right way to deal with it, and the byproduct of this would be happiness. End of the day, when you come back home, you'll be more satisfied, you'll be more happy, because you've been able to solve a big challenge of your life. Look at everybody around you. What is their approach? Most of the people have this very passive approach, that we cannot do much about situations, that people are wrong, the destiny is wrong, that the Almighty is not favoring us, everything is wrong, they are not lucky enough. But a creative person would create his or her own destiny. They would change their luck. So that is what you have to work on, that you should not have a passive approach towards life. You should have an active approach. For that, you have to think out of the box. Which everybody else is doing is not something that you are going to do. You would look at everything from a perspective where you can come up with the best solution for every problem. So having an active approach in general is important. Look at people who are active. Everybody who is active would always be on the go. They're always doing something. They cannot just sit. They are not lazy. So they cannot just sit and consume content. They cannot just sit and keep eating. Active person would want to go for a walk, would listen to music, would organize things better. They'll keep their space clean. But a passive person would always be disorganized, would not be hygienic overall, would not want to do any other work which involves physical movement. So if you're active, you're automatically creative. When you're on the go, your mind is also on the go, and creativity is all about this mind functioning in a certain way. So try to have an active approach rather than a passive approach. The second thing, which is very significant, is to have a mindset shift. It is all about having a growth mindset. First of all, notice whether your mindset is more, not growth oriented, or is it always thinking out of the box. Mindset shift is so important to be creative, that if you don't see things differently, then you are always stuck into situations. But the moment you think out of the box, you start to create a creative atmosphere for yourself. That's the best part about mindset shift. I have talked about changing your mindset for speaking in English. If you have a fixed mindset, then you would never be able to do things in more colorful way. So a fixed mindset would not let you think about more ideas, think about more situations which can solve problems, think about more of solution oriented things. But a growth mindset would allow you to think out of the box, because this growth mindset would always welcome new ideas, new perspectives, new point of views, new way of thinking. So a person who is growth oriented, a person who wants to grow in life. See, what am I talking about when I say growth? After a certain age, our height will not increase, our width would not increase. Yes, if we keep eating a lot of food, we might keep widening our size, but for the physical growth, there is an age where it stops. So most of the people stop their mental growth there as well. They have acquired degrees, they have experience in their job, they don't want to grow. They don't want to grow this mind. That is the problem, where we feel stuck in life. This is the reason that we don't feel happy, that we don't feel fulfilled. The people who are growth oriented, who are growing from the top, are always happy, more satisfied, and more creative. So the moment you shift your mindset from fixed to growth oriented, you are shifting yourself to a creative zone. And that is what is required. So make this mindset shift if you want to boost your creativity, if you want to develop a creative thinking. Another thing, the third thing, which is relevant to the contemporary times, and that is consume the kind of content that brings newness into your life. If you are watching something which is nowhere, first of all, related to your own life, and which is not bringing any newness into your life, which is not bringing any newness into your mind, anything which is more innovative, is not going to serve bigger purposes in your life. You're watching it, you're spending your time in it, but it is not solving any purpose in your life. Something which is bringing novelty in your thoughts, in your way of doing things, in your perspectives, it is not good for you to consume. Don't consume that content where you are not learning every day something new. There are movies, there are series, there are reels, there are videos which are just redundant. Day after day, you're watching the same videos. Let me give you an example related to your English speaking videos. What you do is you just keep hopping on from one trainer to another's video. You're watching one video, hopping to another, then to third one, then to fourth one, but never being able to speak. Tell me if I'm not saying right. This is what is happening to most of the English learners. What is happening is that they are just consuming content unnecessarily from one to another, never solving their own problem. When you're creative, you know where you need to work. Watching videos would not help. If you're watching something, see the same thing. I have made a video on grammar is not important, or how to speak in English if your grammar is weak. There are thousands more creators who have made the same kind of video. If you're watching the same video from one creator to another, to the third one, to the fourth one, everybody telling you the same thing in different way, how is it solving your grammar problem? Are you getting what I'm saying? I am saying that if you're creative, you'll focus on that problem and you'll learn something. You'll watch one video which has answered your query, and then you'll work on solving it. So watch content which is promoting innovation, something where you're getting to learn every day a new thing, which is forcing you to learn in different directions. When you're stuck in just spoken English, when you're stuck in just how to speak in English, you are just stuck there. The rest of the areas of your life are also closed. Open those doors, learn from everywhere, and English will happen just as a byproduct. And I keep repeating this thing, that English will come to you naturally, but don't stop learning in different directions. And that is where creativity helps you. It helps you learn in different directions. So be very alert what you are consuming. Are you consuming something which is redundant? The same thing, repetition. Consume something which is bringing innovation, something which is letting you new ideas get into your head, which is promoting that creative thinking basically. So that is very important. Okay, the fourth thing, which I think should have been kept in the first, but I deliberately put it here. It is because we have a lot of clutter here. You need to declutter your mind. Decluttering is a Japanese concept, and it's a very beautiful concept. Before I got to know about it, even I had no idea how to declutter the physical space. I'm talking about house, homes, closets, everything. So I had no idea about it. Even I would pile up clothes and things. When I got to know about decluttering, it literally changed my whole idea of organization. Decluttering is very important. Look around in the space where you're sitting. You would see that many spaces are consumed by just clutter, something which is not even valuable. And with this mind, it is fully cluttered. We have no space for anything new to enter into it. No space for ideas, no space for point of views to enter. From where will it enter? It is already so stuffed with things which are not relevant. Declutter it first. It's important to declutter this mind. Only then you will be able to create space for creativity. That's what we need to do. Now, all the thoughts that are negative, the past experiences which are still hurting, the relationships which are consuming a lot of our time but are not giving us any happiness or fulfillment in return, the people we follow but we dislike them from inside, the hatred, anger, feeling of jealousy. When we look at other people being successful, we don't really feel very good. We feel jealous of their stepping up. It is true. So these feelings are keeping up our mind cluttered. Make it clutter free. Declutter it. And to declutter anything, physical space or your mental space, you have to be mindful. You have to do it consciously. So be conscious about all the space that you have. Very consciously get rid of every emotion which is not serving a positive purpose in your life. The negative feelings, the negative emotions, everything related to your past, relationships or discrimination or being treated in a very bad way, anything, losses, you have to get rid of them deliberately. And we are so strong as human beings, we don't realize the power that is somewhere lying within us only. We don't have faith in that power, that we believe, no, it is not possible. Oh, it cannot be possible. Of course it is possible. Start having faith in your own existence. You're strong enough to get rid of everything which is negative, which is not serving you any purpose at this moment. So to be more creative, you have to declutter your mental space, and that's a very, very important thing. The fifth thing that you have to do is figure out what you love. Do things that you love and let the ideas flow into your mind. You have to basically work on developing different skills, but for that, to polish the skills also, you need to know what are the things that you love. If you work on any area just because it is something which is popular, it is something which everybody is doing, then you're wasting your own skill. Know what you love. If it is a hobby, if it is something that can be turned into a full-blown profession, you have to notice this whole thing. You have to find your own love. What is that one thing you love? And we all have that one thing which we love, and then start putting efforts into that one skill which you simply love and which is your forte. Basically, it is all about finding your forte. What are the areas that you are good at? and then start working on it. Develop that skill. It can be something as simple as organizing a space. Some people are very good at organizing spaces. Some people are very good at cooking. Some people are very good at painting, sketching, coloring. Some people are amazing dancers. Some people sing so well. Some people write poetry. Some people naturally have wonderful writing skills. Some people have good verbal skills. They are eloquent speakers naturally. Now, they don't need to work on it. If you are heading into a wrong direction, which is not your way, the way which is not giving you happiness, if you're trying to do something because everybody else is doing, then certainly you won't be creative. Find your love, then work on that, then polish that particular skill, and then see how much you will feel creative and how creatively you will start embellishing this life. So it's important to find what you love, because love is straight away connected to our hearts, and then love connects our heart and mind in such a way that it gives our life a creative direction. And creativity, ultimately lets us live a better life. Okay, now the sixth thing, and this is something which is for each one of you, because unconsciously we are all rigid people. So I would not use unconsciously, I would rather say subconsciously. Unconsciously is not the right usage here. Okay. Choose flexibility over rigidity. We are all rigid people. The values that have been passed on to us from our previous generation is what we want to follow. We are following it blindly. We are not questioning opinions. We are not questioning judgments. We are not questioning point of views and perspectives. Whatever has been passed on, we have started to believe it. Why don't you be more flexible and start asking questions? Why is this thing relevant? We are following something, but why is this relevant? Is it even serving any purpose in our life? We are following it with our eyes closed, but what is the benefit of it? In the end, what are we getting in return? Something you need to ask questions about. So do that. Ask more questions, be more flexible. A flexible person is open to change. A rigid person would not even listen to anything being told to them. They are so strict about their own value system. They are so strict about their own beliefs, their own perspectives, that they are never open to change. You cannot make these people learn anything new. They are rigid, very strict. No, we already know everything. They are themselves the gods. So you don't have to be that person. Don't be rigid. Be more flexible. A flexible person who's always open to learning can keep bringing change. And I say this all the time, that change is inevitable. If you are welcoming change, that means you're a flexible person, and a person who is flexible is ultimately creative. So work on developing your flexibility rather than staying rigid. Ask questions. Always be critical about everything. Even when you're watching a video, if a person is sharing some views, if you have any doubt, start questioning yourself. Is this video, is this content going to solve my problem? Is this what I was looking for? If not, let me watch something else. This means you're flexible. Otherwise, we stick to just one thing, one kind of content, and we never bring any newness into what we are consuming. That is just one example. But overall, see around, look at your patterns, look at your behavior. Are you rigid? If you are, then it can be worked on to turn yourself into a more flexible person. And the moment you switch yourself from rigidity to flexibility, you will automatically be more creative. Your creativity will ultimately get a boost, and you'll start looking at things with more creative ideas. So that is the idea of making you more flexible rather than being rigid. Okay, now the seventh thing is, and this is very important, I've shared this same thing in different manner earlier also. I want to tell each one of you who's watching this video to be original rather than a photocopy. Why do you want to be a photocopy of someone else when your originality is screaming from inside to give it an outlook, to give it some shape? You're shutting the voice down. by not pursuing what you are good at, what is your forte, what is your best quality, what is the talent that you naturally have, pursue it. But what you are doing is you're running after the thing which you are not good at, and then you're facing disappointments, then you are getting a lot of negative responses and feedback from people. Ultimately you're not happy. The moment you turn to listen to your own voice, the moment you start catering to your own capabilities, you develop an original personality. And when you are original, you're automatically creative, because when you're doing something you're naturally good at, of course you'll have numerous ways of doing it, of course you'll be more creative. So your originality is very important. Don't try to be a photocopy of someone. Even when people are making content here on YouTube, what they do is they pick up content from someone else and then present it in a slight different manner, but they have no originality of their own. People are making cooking videos, so everybody is making cooking video. Do you really love cooking? Are you into dishes? Are you into working on different ingredients? Are you someone who plays around with different methods and different styles and different cuisines? Some people have that knack naturally, and these are the people who become Nisha Madhulika or Kabita's Kitchen. These are the people who followed their passion, but rest of them who were copying their content would not reach that level, because it is not their originality. Only an original person would touch the peak. That is a reality. A person who has listened to his or her own inner voice, a person who has catered to his or her own capabilities, their own talent, their own natural skill, would reach at the top. The rest of them will somewhere hover around, okay, not being seen or not being noticed. But when you start watering your own talent, you start polishing your own skill, you will be more original, you will shine like a diamond. So try to work on your originality. Don't try to be a photocopy when you naturally have a talent of your own, when you naturally have skills of your own. And when you are working on your original skill, then automatically you will include a lot of creative ideas. This is like a human nature. When you do something with love, when you do something which you truly want to do, you are naturally going to do it creatively. That's something which happens with all of us. You will have more ideas. When you're copying someone which is not your natural skill, then you will only look at the thing from that window only. That box will be your window. You won't be able to think out of the box in that area, because that's not your forte. What is your forte is your originality, and that will boost your creativity directly. Last but not the least, and this is very important, start believing in your own capabilities. The 8th point is that you don't know, but you have greater ideas than you can ever imagine. You have never actually taken a deep dive within yourself. Just because you're not being original, just because you're not doing something which your heart says, you are most of the times disappointed. You feel that the world is unfair to you, you're not getting good opportunities, you're not someone who is getting the same return. It is only because you're not following your heart. You're not listening to your inner voice. It is trying to tell you what you have to do. The moment you start doing that, you will be more creative, you will be more confident, and you'll be more special. So start believing in yourself. Your faith in yourself will let you walk on the right path, and it will take you to your destination, the destination which is meant only for you. Have that faith in yourself. Tell me, do you believe in yourself? Are you someone who already believes in your own capabilities? I believe most of you would say, no, I don't. Then start doing that. Have faith in yourself. See, how do we start believing people so easily? We make friends, we form bonds with people, we get into relationships just because we believe them so easily. Even when that faith has been shattered so many times, people don't always prove to be what we think of them. But when it comes to believing in our own selves, we are so skeptical. Why so? Why are we so reluctant in believing in our own capabilities? Start believing in yourself, and this is the solution, universal solution for your creativity issues. You will be more creative if you believe in yourself. If you start believing that yes, I can have more ideas, yes, that I can do things better than others. I am capable. I am wonderful. I am an amazing person. I am God's favorite child. I have the capacity to do things in greater special ways than people think I can. It's not about proving anything to anyone else. It's about proving it to your own self. Your fight is with you only. It is not you versus the rest of the world. It is about you versus you. So start believing in yourself, have faith in your special qualities, have faith in your talents, have faith in your skills, and see the results. It will be in front of you. So this was all about our session related to developing our creative skills. You know how beneficial it is. You know how wonderful it is if you work on your creativity. By now, I hope most of your queries have been answered. And I want you to leave your comments related to creativity or any other query that you have under this video. Let me know so that in a live session I can take up your queries, I can take up your questions. And your task for the day is just figure out that one skill which makes you special, which makes you different from rest of the people. This is just one task you have to do. If it is painting for you today, after watching this video, make a painting for yourself, something which is naturally coming to you. If it is singing, sing yourself a song, a beautiful song, your favorite song. If it is dancing, play that music of your liking and then start dancing. If it is writing poetry, write yourself a poetry for your own self which can boost your confidence. Whatever your skill is, if it is cooking, if it is making coffee, brew yourself a wonderful coffee, or just make yourself your favorite dish. Do this just for yourself, not for anyone else. Do something for yourself today, something which you are already good at. That's your task for the day. And on this note, I am going to end this session. I'll see you in the 4th session of our soft skills training program. Till then, keep working on your creativity, keep working on different skills, and keep loving yourself unconditionally. All the very best to you all. Bye bye for now.